All
Des, what's
right.
going on this morning, sir?
Oh, nothing much, man. Just woke up, finished eating some breakfast. Just the normal routine. So
Yes,
nothing
sir.
crazy.
Yes, sir. So, what time do you go to work?
Um, my schedule. I work at a 10 Fitness. Working 10 Fitness on Rodney Perryman in Little Rock.
Yeah.
So my schedule is kind of is a little bit different.
Oh,
Um, kind of. So I work a little bit of a weird kind of split shift. On Mondays, I go into work about 8 o'clock. I train people till about 10 o'clock.
yeah.
And then from about, just depending on how I'm feeling, I train myself in my own
Sure.
workout, 10 to 12. Then I get back on the clock from like 12 to 6, and then the rest of the week it's similar like that. I'll go in at it's 9 o'clock in the morning, train people till 10, get off 10 to 12 for my break,
Yeah.
2 hours train, get back on the clock at 12, train from 12 to 3, take an hour break, gap to just kind of chill out for a minute, then
Yeah.
work 4 to 8. So I'm training people pretty much all day.
Man. And
It's
then,
kind of weird. It took some getting used to, but I mean, I'm used to it now. So I mean, I
yeah.
live at that place, So
Yeah. And what's the name of the gym?
10 Fitness.
10 Fitness?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, how long you been there?
I started there right as I was about to graduate college.
Yeah.
28. I started in September 2018, right around when I was I think that was right when I was getting ready to do 2 shows right back to back. I started that job when I was 4 weeks out.
Oh,
Actually,
man, that's a tough time to start.
start a new job. But hey, I mean, I needed it at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Life was crazy at the moment. I was graduating. I was finishing up my personal training certification. Actually, at
Oh,
the
yeah.
moment, they gave me like a 90-day time frame to be able to get it. They said I can start early there. So yeah, I was juggling a whole lot. But
Man,
like I
that's a
said,
lot.
hello.
Man, that's awesome. Now, you're down in Little Rock. Now, are you from Little Rock?
I'm originally from Hot Springs,
Yeah.
where I lived there all the way until I was 18 when I graduated high school. And then I moved to Conway to go to UCA and lived there for 4.5 years. And then right around the time I got the job, like I said, when I was finishing up at 10 Fitness, I moved to Little Rock in January of 2019, and I've been there ever since.
Okay. Now, how'd you get into bodybuilding?
It's a funny story, man. So I grew up actually my whole life playing basketball was kind of my thing. So basketball was my passion.
Uh-huh.
I was the biggest fan of Michael Jordan, and
Yeah.
studied all his stuff and wanted to be the next Michael Jordan. So just like a lot of kids want to be. So, whenever I started getting really serious into that as time went on, as I was growing up, in high school, I had, had really, developed my game, had really got to a really good position to where I was trying to, get into college and was feeling really good about it. Then I think it was my junior year over the summer, I had some type of, its doctors really couldn't even explain it. I had an issue with my knee, and it was causing me a lot of pain. At first, it started out as just like tendonitis in the left knee.
Yep.
And then I started noticing that I was losing a lot of muscle mass in my left leg, my left quad. It was really going away. And started getting some tests ran, went up to Children's Hospital in Little Rock, got some tests ran. They told me I had femoral neuropathy. So basically, some of the nerves weren't firing correctly in my leg. And it just caused me to lose muscle mass. And so, man, that really slowed my game down.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't move like I used to. Couldn't react to things. I couldn't take the poundages. I was having to wear a big brick-sized brace on my leg.
Oh, yeah.
Games. And so then after a while, man, that really just kind of discouraged me some. And they told me that the only way I was going to be able to get through this was to be able to start a lot of exercises of weight training and be able to build the strength up in my leg again. And so that kind of drove me a little bit, away from the game. And so I went to a local YMCA, And I, just Googled some exercises and didn't really have no idea what I was doing, so I had no idea what I was doing. I started, trying to do what I could do, trying to
Yeah.
build it back up, And I was doing this during the season, so I didn't have a whole lot of time,
Yep.
to build the muscle back up. And it just finally, after a while, I was just like, man, if I don't want to, really work through this, if I just don't really have the drive and the passion to kind of get through this, then it's probably something I just don't really want to, end up doing for the long run.
Yeah.
And so then I just said, I'll just try something else, And then I actually got a job at that same YMCA as a lifeguard. And then I had a buddy there who was friends with my father, who he used to train in MMA. And he was a bodybuilder at the time, working there at the YMCA. He was a fitness director. And so I would always go in there, pick his brain, ask him stuff. How do you do this? How do you do that, man? Should I take creatine? Should I do how do am I squatting right? Like, what do I do? So then, he would help me out. He would show me, kind of dietary tips. He would take me through a few workouts. And then I started just always being in his office, picking his brain. And so then what happened was this was during the summer going into my senior year of high school. And I actually didn't know anything about bodybuilding at the time, knew nothing about the sport, didn't know how it worked. I just, I kind of read the magazines and everything, but I didn't know how the sport worked. And so then one day I was in his office talking to him, and then he said, hey, man, I'm getting ready for Mr. Arkansas show. And I was like, okay. I said, this is, that's cool. And so then he said, how about you come up and see me, come watch the show. Yeah. I said, okay. I said, a bunch of tanned up old guys, in man thongs and everything. I said, I want to come watch that. That's what that is. And he said, man, you don't understand, man. It's cool. Just come and check it out. So then I drove up to Little Rock one weekend with my girlfriend at the time. Went up there and just watched the show, and I was like, man, this is really cool. This is different, but this is really cool. So, and then we'll talk to him after the show, congratulate him, everything. And then he was like, man, how about this? How about, I'll hook you up with my coach or whatever, y'all see what y'all can talk about. And then how about you try it next year? I said, man, I don't know about this. I said, I don't know, man. I've been, working out for about a year now. I said, I don't know about that, So and then he said, just try, man. We'll hook you up with the diet. Try to bulk you up in this off season. Use your senior year. Just, you do this, and then come around, spring, summertime. We'll just we'll go talk to our coach and then we'll see what we can do. Yeah. And so then he directed me to. His name was Eddie Stedman. Okay, so he used to bodybuild mid 2000s. He was a really good amateur competitor. And when I went and talked to him, he actually said, "Hey, aren't you? I know you." He said, I used to work with your mom." So I was like, "That's crazy." I said, "I know a guy from the YMCA. My mom." I said, "It's crazy how all that worked out."
Yep.
And so then after that, I would go in and pose with him all the time. He would give me workouts to do, and then I signed up for the Mr. Arkansas show, and then I went and did the teen division, the 19 and under, and placed second in that, and then I think I placed fifth in the middleweight division, middleweight novice class, and then that's pretty much there. I just went off with it. So here I am.
Now, now, so you're in the classic division. You're not going to do in the open.
Yes, I'm shooting for the classic division. That's what I really enjoy. I feel like my body's suited for that.
Yeah.
I feel like I enjoy that type of look. And like I said, sure. I'm 6 foot even, so I have a more slender, type of just a build that I have to really feel that I'm really working on. So that's what I enjoy. I did the open class just this one time back at the All South Muscle Championship.
Yeah.
The last one I did just because I just wanted to do it, So because I wear the trunks, and that was back before we had the classic trunks today that are a lot slimmer.
Yeah.
Just really wanted to kind of be able to just like I said, if I knew I was going to be conditioned, I really just wanted to wear those trunks and really just do it just for fun, pretty much.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So, you sent me some pics, and you look really good in your pics. Talk to us about just a little bit about what you did, the competitions you had last year, and then how did you get with your current coach, and who is your current coach?
actually, like I say, I saw you recently interview Tyler Coatney.
Yeah.
That's one of my best friends, and actually we work with the same coach, Derek Natcher, with Team
Okay.
Loud. So that's who I'm working with. Um, and the last shows I did were 2018. Actually, I
Okay.
did the Heart of Texas in Garland, Texas, and Dallas
Yeah.
area,
Yeah.
and then I did the All Southwest
And
Championship
the
down here
also.
in Little Rock. And so I did those two, and whenever I was working with Brooke Walker at the time, so that was who I had a really good relationship with her, and then like I say, it was a really great experience. And then, like I say, I switched over to Derek shortly after those competitions, and really just wanted to take the time um, to really just grow, focus on that
Yep.
is what
Yep.
what the main issue was. So I really just I would go to these shows, and like I said, I did the last two that I did, and they told me conditioning, was on point. Conditioning is what you have. You're just really gonna have to, bring your upper body to match your lower body, because your lower body dominates your upper.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
so that was something that I pretty much really just had to say, hey, if I got to buckle down, I got to do this. And I really just I'm really going to have to shove food and push food and really
Yep.
just use it as my time to, to get ready for the future. Because I was getting so many of the same messages, from judges. Hey, you got your legs, the legs have really developed. The legs, you got everything you need. Just got to bring that upper body up, man. The conditioning's there too. You just got to bring that upper body up. So started working with Derek, and really, that was the main focus. Our training started really just pretty much like I say, we're doing one leg day a week, and then we're
Yep.
doing training body parts, once, twice, up twice a week, just to really
Yeah.
bring that up. So really just keeping the intensity high. Uh, like I say, it's eccentric focus on a lot of the lifts.
Yep.
Really trying to contract and connect with the muscles. So that was kind of a problem I had back in the past.
Yeah.
Was really just following the same split. And like I said, now we ride out splits. We do pretty much the same exercises, same lifts every week. We're just doing progressive overload. We're adding
Yep.
weight each week, adding
Yep.
drop sets. Maybe sometimes changing the order, things like that. But we're really
Sure.
riding. And that's something I just didn't do in the past, and I'm seeing
Yeah.
really the best results ever from that.
Now, what'd you do in the past? What kind of training were you doing before you met with your current coach, Derek? How were you training? Because
I
now
was
you're doing
tra-
progressive overload, but then
yeah.
what were you
So
doing?
I was training like I would stick with the basic lifts,
Yeah.
but it may be one week I come in, or one day I come in on Monday I do 4 sets of 10 on, say, starting out on incline dumbbell bench press on my chest day,
Yeah.
and then I might do some hammer strength flat or something like that, and then just go through the basics. But I kind of wouldn't stick to the same rep ranges. I would do like, okay, I feel like doing this today, so I'm kind of going to do this.
Yeah.
I feel like doing, this series of exercises because I feel like doing this, but in the next week I'll do the difference. You do something different. So that's kind of like what I would do. And I really,
Yeah.
I couldn't really track myself. I couldn't
Yeah.
say, well, I couldn't really track what I was doing because it was different each week.
Yep.
And so then I just feel like I wasn't giving my body the stimulus that it needed to be able to really break through those plateaus and be able to really
Yeah.
just tap in to those fibers like that, because it was something different all the time.
Yeah.
And that was something that Derek has really taught me, that we're sticking to the same lifts. We're
Yep.
doing the same, the same rep range. We're sticking to these things so we can track. So, Monday, if you're, bench pressing, 300, for 8 reps, then the next Monday, we're going to try 305 or
Yeah.
something like that for that 8 reps. Or, we're going to go for 10 reps, the next. Something small changes, small increases to continue to get that stimulus. And that was just something I didn't, fully stick to in the past. And
Yeah.
so now that I've started it, it's been really good.
Good. So, with everything that's going on right now, with I don't know how it is in Little Rock, but up here, it's hard to find eggs. It's hard to find chicken with everything that's happening. Fish I can get.
Mhm.
That's not a problem, but everything else is kind of tough. How are you dealing with that right now? Are you like what I've had to do is bring my portions way down just so I
Mhm.
can make my food last longer. What are y'all? How are y'all taking care of your nutrition right now?
Well, the beauty about that is around here is Little Rock, pretty much the biggest city in
Yeah.
the state of Arkansas. So we've gotten lucky, man. Like we got two Sam's Club down here, and the one that I've lived closest to has had a good amount of food, man. Like I say, I've been going in there frequently, and there may be 2, 3 bags of chicken left, or bags of fish, but I've been able to get some. And I'm a big fan of egg whites. Like
Oh
people
yeah.
think I'm, but like I say, if I can't, at work, if I don't have the time to sit down and eat, full chicken breast, I'm just drinking a full carton of egg whites. So like I said, I don't have a problem with that. People, they say, "How do you do that?" I say, "Man," I said, "if you just want to eat the meal, I said, just just drink it, get rid of it."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's 50
Yeah.
grams of protein, those smaller cartons there. You know what I mean? So, it's not been terrible down here because we have, a few more grocery stores in some of these smaller cities.
Yeah.
And so I've been able to get pretty much. Now I may have to drive to one because one doesn't have something and drive to the next. I don't care for that. But I've been able, to get pretty much what I
Yeah.
need, and it hasn't been just a pure, just like there's nothing on the shelves. So
Yeah.
I've been able to get a good amount of stuff. It's just I may not get it from the first store that I choose to go to that day.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, hey, let's get back to your competition because you've taken all this year. Well, 2019 you were growing. Now,
Mm-hmm.
what do you have planned? You and Derek have planned for right now. All the competitions got pushed out. So we're kind of seeing what's happening there. When are you going to be on the stage next, and what show are you going to do?
Well, there's a couple different options. I actually am taking this whole year, also 2020,
Oh,
to grow also.
okay.
Um, so I told myself, I said, if I'm going to take this time off, I'm going to take this time off. Now, I wouldn't say time off, but if I'm going to
Right,
take
right,
this,
right.
this growth period, if I'm going to take this time, I'm really going to give it some time. Like I'm going to, I use all of 2019 to grow I'm going to use all of 2020 to grow. Now we're going to assess at the end of this year, where our size and where our development is at to see what we're going to do going into 2021. So the idea was to pretend the first idea was to start prep in January for a late spring or early summer show, local show, and then and the goal is to go ahead and qualify there to go to
Yeah,
junior nationals.
sure.
So, and then, like I say, if we assess at the end of the year and everything is not exactly, where we want to be, and we feel like we want to be in a better spot, we're going to push it back to a show later the next year and then shoot for Miami Nationals.
Okay.
Uh, I think it's later in late November
Yeah, I
is
think I
what it
think
is.
Miami's in November. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
So,
Yeah,
and that'll be, like I say, depending on how we look towards the end of this year, where we're sitting at, because we want to come in the top of the class. We don't
sure.
want to have to have any we don't want to be undersized at all. We literally want to be able to just go pee, step on the scale at 217.
Yeah,
So, and that's really what we want to do. But like I say, time will tell this year here which route we decide to go, which show we kind of want to really focus on.
yeah. What are you weighing right now?
I'm sitting at around 230. We're pretty much 230 on the dot in the mornings.
Yeah,
Um, like I say, when I first started with Derek, we had to do like a small mini cut. We kind of didn't rebound as well after the 2018 shows. Didn't rebound as well as we could have.
yeah,
Kind of got a little bit soft. Got just it wasn't in a really good place to grow. Because
yeah,
like I said, Derek believes in being the optimal place to grow, resetting insulin sensitivity,
yeah,
just having enough, good amount of body fat on you to where you can that can kind of stay where it's at, and just little by little, if you add some here and there, that you're not going to get sloppy. You're focusing on that lean muscle growth. So I started with him around that time. Around the time we got done with the mini cut, it was January of 20. No, we stopped the mini cut around spring. Sometime in the spring, it was March, I think, or April, and we had cut down to one. I think I got down to 194.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, and I was on stage at my shows at 192. So
wow.
we did it pretty. We pushed the mini cut, and then from now on, like I say, I've gotten up to 230. It's probably the best. It is definitely. I'm not gonna say probably. It definitely is the best composition I have ever been in the off season.
Yep.
That I've been able to continuously grow with. So that's where we're at right now.
Yeah. No, that's great. That's good that y'all did that. I mean, to me, that's probably the best way, is to do that. Right now, are you in a relationship with anybody?
Yes, I actually, yes, my girlfriend, Sarah Dag, that's, yes, I am.
Now, is she into fitness? Is she into working out or anything?
She's big into fitness. She really enjoys the lifestyle. She really enjoys, she's big into the flexible dieting.
Yeah.
I actually, I actually coach her and do all her stuff.
Oh, you're coaching her too?
Yeah, I coach her too. So that's something, we can be able to share together.
Yeah.
And like I say, she enjoys the lifestyle element, seeing improvements, being able to break through plateaus, just feeling really good about herself, just having that, that gym and wellness aspect to her lifestyle. But as far as like the competing side or anything like that, she said that's just really not something she's interested in because, like I say, she just enjoys the lifestyle. But taking it to the extreme, just like I'm just not really, want to go that far.
That's right. Now, how many are you? So, are you coaching? As well as like lifestyle and competition? Are you only going to coach your girlfriend or?
I coach her lifestyle, just the general, like I said, general one is the lifestyle. Like I say, I'm not really coaching competitors right now.
Okay.
Like I say, if a guy needs help or something like that, and like I say, I can give my advice, give my tips. But like I say, as far as like competitors, not exactly at the moment. As far as like bulking, cutting, just trying to get their feet wet into the sport, or somebody that's kind of like struggling in certain aspects, I take on clients like that. But as far as like, competition prep, that's still kind of something I'm working up to. I just really want to be able to be in a position of where, I've done enough in my career. I've, seen things from different angles. I know about, just more dietary, just tricks. And then, just pretty much the magic and the science behind the game. I just really want to be in a better position to where I can really, really know that craft. Yeah. So, but as far as bulk cutting, general wellness clients, people like that just want to enjoy the sport and want to be able to get into it and not as much the competitive side, then those are the type of people I take on at the moment until I get to a better position.
Yeah. Now, how could they reach out to you, Des?
I just really be on Instagram, into social media, Facebook, things like that. Like I say, I post my people who I'm coaching on there, all the time. So really, like I said, I don't really have a website or anything like that, but pretty much just social media, just like majority guys out there now, pushing that. So
Hey, let me ask you this: when you sat down, you and Derek, you assessed your physique, you assessed everything that you wanted to try to accomplish. Did y'all set a certain time frame for you to be able to try to get your pro card to become a pro? I mean, you say, okay, in 2 years I want to be a pro, or did you just say, you know what, we're just going to do this for as long as it takes until I get the pro card?
Essentially, that's kind of what I told him. I said, hey, he told me, what's your goal with all this? I said, coach, I said, I want you to turn me pro. I said, but I'm pretty much on your time, man. I said, whenever you can look at me and say, hey, you're ready, it's time to go. That's when I want to do it.
Yeah.
So really just going into like 2019, 2020, we just kind of been sitting back and been watching things, and he's been, eager to, get me in prep and just kind of see how we look. So at the same time, I say, hey, man, I'm still on your call, man. I said, I just don't want to go up there and do nationals and just and just, you know, get demolished. I said, I want to be able to go up
Sure.
there, not necessarily just for the experience, and be able to go up there as a threat to anybody I stand next to.
Yeah.
So the goal was to just say, hey, you know, whenever you can look at me and you know in your heart and your soul that I could really, you know, have a shot to get in the card, however way it goes, then that's when I want to be able to start prep. So, and like I say, we're taking this year to see, is that going to be that time? You know, by the end of this year, you know, he can take a look and say, all right, this is what we can work with. This is what we got. Here's our options, you know.
You know, I wish a lot of the competitors had your attitude, your mindset, because you know I see a lot of people up here in the gyms. There's okay, look, I want to be a pro in a year. You know, I mean, sure, we all want to be a pro, but who doesn't want to be a pro? But you know, people really need to be more realistic
Mm-hmm.
in their thoughts, and because it's, I mean, it's not once you get to nationals and you see the competition, you know, it's a different ball game when you get to nationals, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So if people would just, I really like what you're thinking, your thought process, you and your coach. I think that's the best way to go about it. Too many people want to get too fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I know exactly what you mean, you know. So, I and something that I had to tell myself. I said, man, I said, how many times do you want to do nationals? Like, how do you want
Yeah,
to be one of those guys that's just literally they do okay, and you know they say they do good and what looks good in a local show,
right. That's exactly
and
right.
nobody shows up at that show and say they dominate everybody, and then they say, okay, I'm going to nationals, get lined up, make third call outs.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yep,
So, and like I say, I don't want to go through 100 national shows and then just literally wear myself out to
yep.
where, you know, it's just it's money. I mean, because that's thousands of dollars you're looking at. You know what I mean? That's money.
That's right.
Right there.
That's
You know what I
right.
mean? Yeah, that's thousands of dollars you're going to end up running through. You know what I
Yep,
mean? So,
yep.
I mean, so you know, and like I say, it's just one of those things where I just if I go, I know I have a shot. I know
Yeah,
that. You know what I mean? At the same time, and I could turn around and say, you know, you're never going to 100% know who's going to show up exactly.
yeah,
You know, but I just want to have that confidence and be able to be, you know, where I can look and say, hey, you know, we really have a shot here. You know, we've got mass, we've got the shape, we got the detail, we got
yeah,
it. So we just, you know, just really have that confidence going into it, you know.
yeah.
So, and like I say, conditioning, like I say, I told coach, I said, man, I said, look, I said, I don't care if I got to drink egg whites and eat a stick of asparagus every day. I don't care what it comes down to when it comes to getting conditioning and getting peeled. I said, I will do whatever it takes. You know, I don't
Yep,
ever want to look back and say, man, if I wouldn't have done it, if I'd have did
that's
this,
right.
if I wouldn't have done that, you know, I said, well, I want to come in just at death,
Yeah,
pretty much.
yeah,
So when it comes to that, just peel conditioning. So
that's
that's
right.
something I've never been afraid of.
Yeah, and that's the mindset. I mean, Des, you're right on, because that's the mindset you have to have. You have to know that you're going to suffer. You're willing to suffer, because in my opinion, the people that suffer the most are going to win. That's just a fact.
Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely.
So you know, but that's people just don't want to. I don't want to. I hate to say. I don't want to just generalize and say people, but a lot of the competitors just don't want to suffer. They don't want to have to do that. You know,
Mhm.
they rely on certain other things to try to get them to where they need to be, and they don't want to suffer.
Absolutely. So, you know, like I say, and it's one of those things, man. You just got to really ask yourself, what do you want the end result to be? Like,
Yeah,
do you want to look back and say, do you want to look back and regret that you were begging coach for a cheat meal during prep, and then just so somehow you broke through to them and they thought you were going to quit, so they gave you one, and that one
yeah,
cheat meal took away, you know, something that you could have had, you could have showed on stage. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You just got to really, you know, just really ask yourself, what is going to benefit me now? This 10 minutes that it takes me to eat this cheat meal right here and taste
yep,
it for 10 minutes, or do I really want to be able to have the place that I want? Do I really want to be able to show up and they look and they say, damn, they say, who is that guy?
that's
You know what
right.
I mean? Like, what did he do to suffer to get like that? I mean, what would you rather have? You know, so, but then again, I mean, like I say, everybody's different. Um, your mind changes some on prep, you
Oh
know,
man, Yes,
The
sir.
hormones can get out of whack, you
Yes,
know what I
sir.
mean? All that stuff. And like I say, man, it's just everybody's different when it comes to those things. So, and it was just something I had to finally just really sit down and tell myself, like I did, my last shows. I said, hey, I remember the day I woke up. I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, I'm not gonna leave it. I'm gonna literally leave everything into this prep, give everything into this prep. And I said, I don't care how bad I have to suffer. I don't care what I have to juggle. I got to get through this, and I want to be the most conditioned I've ever been.
Yep.
So yeah, like I said, I'm not going to compare myself to anyone. I'm not going to get on Instagram and say, damn, look at this cat, look at this guy, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not
That's
going
right.
to do that.
That's right.
So, because that's another thing too, is I think big thing today is, posting pictures and the hotel pictures and the hotel check-ins and the gym pictures and everything. And if people can look great, people can look on it, can look awesome at the time. But then when you show up on stage and you walk up there and it's like, I don't know what happened. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yep.
So I was trying to really say, you know what? I said, I'll post my stuff, I'll post me, but I'm not about to sit here and dig and scrape and try to find, who's in the show. Because I don't, just any type of mental distractions, anything like that, I try to eliminate during my preps.
Yep.
So just so I can completely just look in the mirror, say, this is what I look like and this is what I'm bringing.
That's right.
So
that's exactly right. And let me ask you this: when we're talking about social media, you listen to a lot of pros that were maybe in the early 2000s, 90s, kind of getting on people about taking selfies in the gym, posting pictures of them in the gym, whatever. I don't know what your thoughts are, but now, you being a coach for people with life change, things like that. I mean, it kind of helps promote our business if we do that.
mm-hmm.
That's
Absolutely.
kind of the way I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
We're taking a little time off, but you do have to promote yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, what are your thoughts on that about taking your pictures and stuff in the gym and posting?
Man, I think that, I don't think that it's going to be a drastic thing that's going to just kill a physique. That if you're taking a gym selfie or two, in the gym, because here's the thing. This is kind of what I think about, and this is no shade to anybody coming from that era, but it's like, what if you guys had this at your access back then?
Right.
What if you guys had, iPhones and had Instagram and Facebook and all this stuff? Who's to say that they wouldn't have used it back then? It just wasn't at their access. They didn't know about it. It wasn't a thing. And I said, hey, say if you were a competitor, you were doing this, doing that, and you knew that could take your career to another level with publicity, endorsement, sponsorships, clientele if you're a coach. I find it hard to believe that those guys back then wouldn't have used it. I find that very hard to believe.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm sorry. I find it hard to believe. And it can be looked at as something, to kind of joke with us young guys and everything, talk to us about, give us crap about. But at the same time, though, man, I don't look at it necessarily as just something for fun. It's a business. Like online training and the way these clothing brands and supplement brands, man, they're looking every day for who's going to be somebody we can use to help represent our company.
Yeah.
So, like you say, a lot of these fitness, industry people, some of it's BS, some of it's pure crap. Sure. Some of them are all just fraud. Some of it is, but some of them are genuine people that help and reach out a lot of people. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So it's kind of like, if that's something that you want to pursue, then you're going to have a social media following. You're going to have people looking at your page. You're going to have to post quality content to where somebody's going to see you and then offer you something. And it's like I say, a lot of these people, they aren't working 9 to 5s, man. They're living good lives. They're coaching people online. They got the house they want, the car they want. They got these endorsements. They got their shows paid for.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, man, but that's a lot of times a competitor in a fitness enthusiast's dream is to be able to do all those things that they love. So, and I just feel like without social media in today's age, then to a degree, you're limiting what you could potentially do about, depending on how you want to go about your career.
That's it.
So, and like I say, it's just something that we have taken on, and in this era, and it's what we know. But at the same time, though, for me, I don't stop. Like if I'm training, I'm training. I
Yeah.
don't like to sit there and take the time mid session to go take pictures, to take selfies, to go do this, to go do that. When I go in, I train. Then when I'm still pumped up towards, at the end or something like that, when I finished all my lifts, I've done everything, pose in the mirror and then get some
Yeah.
shots in. But as far as like stopping to take all my pictures, no, I'm not doing that unless it's something directly related to the workout, like if I'm posting my lifts for the day,
Yeah.
or if I'm showcasing, like a workout or something like that. That's different. I mean, that's give or take. That's just, you're gonna have to, get somebody, whoever it may be, my training partner, my girlfriend, or something like that, record the sets, something like that. But it's not something I'm gonna get those videos recorded, putting the phone back down, and then I'm training, all out pretty much. And another thing is, I actually, my coach Derek asked me to record some of my sessions so he can check me on form.
Yep.
And so he can, when he can dig into me if I'm not doing something right, you know what I mean, or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what those things call for, because we have access to these things these days. So we're just taking advantage of it. And now, some of the people you see that are just sitting there in the mirror, just taking stuff, and texting and Snapchatting and stuff like that. That's one thing.
Right.
But if you're using it for your content, you take a second, when you're done with your lifts and you've got all the important stuff out the way, if you're getting some footage or some pictures, I mean, it's just what's going to call for. I mean, hey, if somebody wants to really go there, guys on the Olympia stage, they all have great social medias. They all have great followings.
That's right.
They all got great content. They've got people, and it may be a little bit different. They may have photographers taking the pictures.
Right, of course.
But the best physiques in the world all have great social medias. You know what I mean? So it's kind of
Des, you just brought up a great point that I don't think they've ever talked about, because they're also focused on what you're talking about, people taking selfies and this and that, but they don't ever talk about, well, if Des is a pro, he actually has a photographer doing it for him. He's not the one doing it, but somebody is doing it for him.
Absolutely.
So it's the same thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the same thing. So some point in time, you had to stop or do something or pose or do something so that photographer could take a shot of you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, I mean, and like I say, it's probably not like that. It's not like that every single time. A good amount of the time, photographers taking their stuff. But, I mean, you can tell whenever, somebody, a competitor just hands somebody their phone or something like that, and they're just getting something recorded or taking a picture, So the photographer's not going to be there every single time. So I'm sure, if you go through that gallery of that pro's phone, he's got plenty of stuff in there somebody took up in that gym. I mean, who's gonna say no to Chris Bumstead? Say, hey, bro, I'm not taking a picture, man. Who's gonna say no?
I mean, that's it. Hey, speaking of Bumstead, I mean, is there a certain classic physique competitor that's a pro that you kind of look at and say, man, I really like his physique. I really like Brianna. Who? I mean, is there somebody that you look at and say, man, I want to look like that?
Probably, man. I've been a big fan of Bumstead ever since he got into the game. Actually, because I'm taller, I'm longer. I don't have that shorter, stockier build. I have that more athletic looking, like I say, the longer build to where everything's spread out. So I've really been a big fan of Bumstead because I've always been, the Arnold Schwarzenegger fan. I've always been a fan of him. So something that say like that looks like that type of build is what I'm drawn to, because I know that's the type of build that I'm gonna present. Because like I say, I have, that structure. I can vacuum. I have, like I said, I have small waist, the things like that. So that's something I'm going to be naturally drawn to. So like I say, I think, Bumstead, he brings so much to the table with the physique that he has and how built he is, and then he brings that conditioning too, the detail. It's not just, just mass. He has that conditioning, the detail, can hit the vacuum, and the abdominal thigh shot looks great in that. And like I say, so if that's something that I'm going to present that's similar, that's something I'm going to be naturally drawn to. Yes.
Yeah. I just want to talk to you about your support, the people that are around you that support you, and your support group, things like that. I mean, who is like, are your parents or your girlfriend? I mean, back there, kind of, do they help you kind of get prepped? Do they help you with your food? I mean, how's your support staff or your support
It's
group, not staff, but group?
for the longest, man, I've kind of just been, for the longest, it was, I've been kind of a, somewhat of a lone wolf the majority of my
Uh,
career. And I
yeah.
was, like I said, I was going to college. I was going to, like I say, 365 Fitness in Conway. When I started going there, I started making more friends and just being around more competitors and things like that. But as far as like, my support system now, like I said, I live in another city. So I actually, I do a lot on my own, pretty much as far as prepping meals and things, because I live alone. Pretty much, I don't
Oh,
live with
okay.
my girlfriend. So, but
Okay.
as far as like support from her, I got to give her a lot of credit. Like I say, anytime we get to spend time with each other, like I say, she's helping with my food.
Yeah.
She's helping cook things. She can cook some damn good tilapia. I can give you that. I never really was a fan of tilapia until I
That's right.
started seeing her. So I never was. I was like, I don't know what you do this stuff. I said, it's good. So she's really right now, like I say, my biggest support, because I get to see her the most. Like I say, I live in different cities, than when I grew up in. So
Yeah.
that initial group of people that I was surrounded by, I don't really get to see anymore. I lived in Conway.
Yeah.
I don't live there anymore. You know what I mean? So like I
Yeah.
say, anytime I go back to the gym, 365 Fitness, I always try to link up with my buddies there, and try to get workouts in with them. But as far as who's my backbone now is going to be Sarah. Like I say, she hasn't been through a whole prep yet. She hasn't seen that side of things yet.
Oh,
But
yeah.
as far as, yeah, she hasn't seen that side of things yet. I've given insight and I've talked about it. So, but she's pretty much, promised me that, hey, look, I'm going to be my best to support you ride through that and just, kind of be your comfort zone.
Yeah.
So, but as far as, what we do now, we train together sometimes, whenever our schedules can 100% match up. Like I say, we cook food together, she cooks for me. And, really it's just something I've been trying to introduce her to, because she was big into the just the fitness and the wellness side, but as far as the competitive side, she knew pretty much little to nothing about. So this is something I'm still introducing to her, and I take, it's a pleasure for me to do that. That she's interested in learning more about it. So that's something I'm excited to do, is finally get her, involved in my prep, and get her to a show. And I plan on taking her to some shows this upcoming summer, if they have them.
Right. Right. Yeah. That's right.
We don't know.
We don't
I
know
plan on
yet.
taking her to the All-Star show in Rogers, and
Yeah.
then we might go down to the Europa in June. That's it's not too far from all this going on, so who knows?
Yeah, that's right.
And we plan on going to All South down here down in Little Rock. So
Yeah.
I'm still introducing her to all of this, and like I said, it's fun to me to be able to do that. And like I said, she doesn't understand everything, but like I said, hey, this is it takes time to fully process all this
Right.
stuff works. So
Yeah. Hey, is there a certain place where you buy your classic physique trunks that you go to, or do you go to MPC and find them there, or where do you get your trunks from?
yeah, well, you got to remember. So back when I was getting trunks, they were the squared off ones.
Yeah.
They weren't these
Yeah.
new ones yet. So I haven't had a chance to buy these new ones
Oh, okay.
yet.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I actually bought my classic physique trunks off of eBay.
You did?
Yeah, off of eBay, and I can't really remember what the seller's name was or what it was called, but it was just like NPC classic shorts. They were
Yeah.
$30, and you pick the size. And I ordered some of
Yeah.
those, and then actually, funny crazy story. I was in Walmart one day, and I bought actually this, and I was looking, and I said, this pack of boxers, like these polyester boxers, and I said, these look identical to the classic physique shorts. And it was like $10 for two pairs or something like that.
Yeah.
One was gray, one was black. And that was one of the pairs I wore on stage,
You did?
So one of the pairs I wore on stage, I mean, they were that black, kind of shiny black, and they didn't have a thick waistband. They fit perfectly. And those are the ones that I wore on stage. And they didn't get anything said to me, nothing, So, and that's just, I bought a pair off eBay, and then my backup pair was something I bought from Walmart. So, crazy. I haven't been able to
That's
find them
awesome.
haven't been able to find them ever since. But hey, those are the ones I wore. So,
Yeah. That's awesome. That's a great story. I
Yeah.
love that,
No
man.
idea. I thought I'd find those there. Yeah. No idea.
Well, now of course they're a lot slimmer, so you're gonna have to. I don't know where you're gonna get those. Chula Styles has some, but you'll just have to find it. I just think that's a great story. I love it, man.
Yeah, it was funny, man. And I actually bought now I did buy my bodybuilding, the green ones, the bodybuilding competition trunks from Skinswear, uh,
Skins
Skinswear. And like
Yeah.
I say, that, they fit great, didn't have any problems with them. So I've been on there since, and I've seen they actually have some of the new Class Physique trunks on there. So I might
Okay.
just go back,
Just go
with
there.
them. Because I
Yeah.
had a good experience with them. So yeah, that was a good company that the
Yeah.
stuff I wore from them. So.
Hey, when you did the Open, what was your thoughts about why is it just because your body because you're a little bit taller, and your body just flows it just fits in the classic. I mean, once you did the Open, you just like, look, this is not where I belong. I don't want to go into that route,
Mhm.
because it just seems
Well,
that people just want to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and then they end up in the Open.
Yeah, so I actually just did that open class this last time for fun, to be honest, and I ended up winning my class. So I went to my class. So it was a light heavyweight open. Yeah, I just did that just for just to have fun, and man, because I knew I was going to be conditioned from what we were seeing throughout prep. Everything when I was working with Brooke at the time,
Yeah.
everything was spot on. Every week it was results. Everything that was probably the the most smooth prep I've ever had in my life. My job was made out for it. It was during the summer, so at the time I wasn't in school until the last 4 or 5, I think it was 4 to 6 weeks. I think I was in school. I can't really remember. I think it was I had about a month and a little and some change time to finish up that prep when I started back my last semester of college. But that was probably the smoothest prep that I ever had, was that prep. Um, and so what we were seeing was I was coming in really sharp, and I was getting there pretty early. And so then I went to Brooke and I was like, hey, I said, this is my last time I'm going to compete for a while. And I'm going to take this time off to grow after this. I said, what do you think we just slide on in to the open class and just do it for fun? She said, just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. I had glute striations.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, I had the conditioning was there. And I was like, well, I said, if I'm really be able to, have these glute striations, be able to showcase that, I said, I can't do it wearing these shorts. So I've never actually been this sharp in my life. This is the first time I brought this level of conditioning. I said, so I just want to be able to have that, as a memory, saying, hey, I did open just one time, just for fun,
Yeah.
and then we did. So, and I knew that was not the route I was going to take. Whenever Classic came out, I said I knew immediately that, hey, this is what I'm going for. So, and then whenever it just came time to do that Arkansas show, I just said, hey, I said, why not just do it for fun?
Yeah. Yeah. Man, that's awesome. Hey, do you and Derek, are you shooting for a certain weight, or are you just going to grow until y'all decide, hey, you know what, we're going to pick this show, now it's time to cut down? Do you
Mm-hmm.
have a certain, like, 240, 250, or?
That's what I've been thinking, actually. I just really want to get to that to around that 240, 250 range, and then be able to cut down to
Yeah.
217. We really don't have a projected weight, but I'm assuming that it's going to be something off in that range of 240,
Yeah.
250, so
Yeah.
we can know that we can really just have all the size that we need. So, I mean, like I say, at 230 now, I shoot by the end of the year to be close off in that range. And I think I can pull that off. And like I say, it's early in the year right now.
Yeah, it's
So
early.
really just pack on that extra weight. I think that's attainable to get to that 240, 250 range by the very end of this year going into January. So with like I say, and that'll be piece by piece. If we get sloppy, I highly doubt we will. But if we did like a reset or anything like that, that may get in the way just a little bit. But like I say,
Yeah.
I expect to be in the 240s if I'm 230 now, to be in the
Oh yeah.
240s by the end of the
Yeah.
year, pretty clean,
Yeah.
so because it's really hard for me also, unless it's a bad rebound or something else related. like that. If I'm keeping my diet clean, it's really hard for me to put on a bunch of body fat because I'm not really made for that. Because like I said, I was a basketball player. I was skinny when I started all this. I was 168 pounds, so I was
Man.
I was skinny. Yeah, I was a hooper. I could dunk and could run and all that stuff. And
Yep.
can't do that no more. But can't move like I used to anymore. But
That's right.
yeah, but like I said, I started this really lean. I used to eat Popeyes and McDonald's all the time and didn't care. Was drinking Sprite all the time and just Gatorade. And just it didn't really go anywhere. So now that I'm one of those, like I said, I'll admit I'm a hard gainer. I just can't slap on just dense muscle just left and right. It's a process with me.
Yeah.
So when we push, we push clean food really hard. And like I say, I don't do a whole lot of cheat meals, man. I may do one cheat meal a week.
Yeah.
To kind of just keep things really clean there, because I've noticed sometimes I like I say digestion can be thrown off with me. That's something I've kind of had to watch in the past.
Yep.
So cheat meals sometimes just for some reason over this past year or so, I just didn't respond as well to certain things like I used to. And that sounds funny because I'm only 24 right now.
Right.
But just coming up in the game, I used to be able to, have cheat meals and digestion be on point and be able to respond to them pretty well. But now it just, for some reason, things have changed. I don't know what happened in my body's physiology to change, but now I just respond better to higher carbs and cleaner foods, around the clock. So that's really just something that we do. I mean, shoot, the most I think I've ever, we push food hard too, man. I think the most I've ever done macro-wise is 655 carbs, didn't put on any fat. Didn't put on any fat. It was just, 400 protein and 100 fats. So
that's a lot of food.
If I can push that and I'm not getting pudgy, then I can push pretty hard. So.
Man, that's a lot of food. How many times you eat in a day?
I'm eating 6 meals, pretty much, and it's just the clean stuff, man. It's chicken, it's rice, oatmeal, egg whites, eggs, peanut butter, olive oils, coconut oil. Like I said, I'll do tilapia sometimes. I'll do shakes, bagels, bananas. Just the basics, like I say. And the thing is with me, I don't have to have a whole bunch of variety. Like he'll list out my meals like chicken or this much shrimp or this much fish or this much of this much of that, as long as it's, the protein source.
The protein's there.
Yeah, the protein's there. And the carbs could be this, or this, you know what I mean? But I'm really sticking roughly to the same thing all the time because it's how I am. I mean, like I say, I'll do a pre-workout shake. I'll do it'll be egg whites or whey, some English muffins or bagel, banana, little bit of peanut butter, and I'll blend all that up in a blender and just chug it.
Hang on a second, Dad. Hang on a second, man. Now but you're not blending the bagel in that. You're eating the bagel.
I am blending the bagel in that. You think I'm crazy, but hey, I'm blending that bagel up. I just peel it apart. I put it in there. I blend it. It turns into, and I just drink it.
That is awesome.
And like I say, man, with my job, a lot of people don't understand. It's like this. Imagine if you were going client to client to client and you didn't have the time to sit down and eat 7 ounces of chicken, 2 cups of rice, and a banana and this and that. So I literally had those pre-blended. I'll time, a meal an hour before I train, right before I start with somebody. I'll chug that. That'll be my pre-workout meal, all blended up in one shake. And then I'll go train, So it's just something I've just learned to have to do because I just can't really. Sometimes I just can't sit down and eat a meal with the type of job that I have. So with that said, at first was I gagging and just about to throw it up, when I first started doing that.
Man.
Over time, man, it's not that bad. I mean, like I use the blueberry bagels. I don't use the regular ones. I give you that. I use the blueberry ones, So then if I like I said, if I blend it up, I know it's time to go. I drink it, and I go train, So and for me, I don't have much of an appetite. I don't. Almost every meal I eat throughout the day, I'm having to push it down and just sit there and chew it. I just don't. I just don't really, unless I get behind or something like that, and I've just something's happened throughout, or it's a crazy busy day. I don't enjoy eating food a
Right.
whole
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
I eat so much every day that it's just
Yeah.
every meal. A meal's a job. It's not about enjoying and sitting down and eating that meal. That
That's
meal
right.
is a job. It's part of the career. So it
That's
has to
right.
get done. Whether I want to sit there and chew it and swallow it or not.
That's
You
right.
know.
You know,
So
I'm going to tell you this. I've sat down to eat a meal, and it may take me 45 minutes. It may take me almost an hour to eat, just
I
because
know what you mean.
I'm just staring at it, and I'm just like, man, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to
Mhm.
go. You know.
Yes, I 100% agree. I was eating some fish and rice last night around 11 o'clock, and I think me and Sarah were sitting down watching the show, and I was like, damn, we just made it through a whole episode of this 50-minute show, and I'm not done with this food yet. So, this is almost an hour-long show, and I'm not
That's
done
right.
with the food yet. And then I said, I gotta get this down. I'm tired of
Yeah.
looking at it.
Yeah.
So I 100% agree with you there.
Yeah.
I don't think people fully understand sometimes about how serious it is to be able to get all your food in every day,
Right.
and how a lot of people, a lot of the general public think it's just lifting weights and having a protein shake here or there.
Right.
It absolutely is not, you know,
Exactly.
so it's a job.
It is a job, and people. You're exactly right. People don't realize, they just don't understand what it is to eat the food. They just don't understand it because that, to me, I love going to the gym and I love working out. That's the easy part for me. For me, that's easy.
Mhm,
It's when I have to sit down and eat all the food that it becomes hard.
absolutely.
You know.
So I know what you mean. And that was something that I'm um, really a night owl.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I
majority of
am too.
jobs I used to have years ago and being in college, like I say, I was okay with staying up late at night and, still getting food in. And so sometimes that would kind of be an issue. Like if I would wake up too late or if I would sleep in too much or on the weekends or things like that. But and the thing is that when I noticed that the earlier I started getting up and started getting more accustomed to getting up in the morning, eating, and if I went back to sleep, yeah, that was easy for me to do and just be ahead. That was a problem I struggled with in the past was getting ahead of my meals because I'm
Yeah.
sure if you've had a crazy busy day or if you've just not been able to get everything in, then whenever it comes time and you're trying to get in bed and you got 2 meals left,
Yep.
it's not fun. You know what I mean? It's not fun
It's
at
not
all.
fun.
I mean, so,
You
and
know.
that was something I was struggling with was getting up too late, because I used to work a different shift in my job. I used to work 11 to 8 o'clock. And I used to work 11 to 8 when I used
Yeah.
to train people. So I'd wake up at 10, first meal down, and then then I get to work. And then just if I got busy, I would kind of get behind. Then I'd be cramming meals in late at night when I would rather be relaxed and just kind of
That's
hanging
right.
out, having maybe one meal left to go. And now ever since I switched to this morning routine and I'm training in the mornings, everything's getting processed better, digestion's better,
Yeah.
and everything. I'm feeling better because I'm able to have that more time in between meals to where I'm not having to cram as much, as if I just start running out of time at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So that's something that I recommend to anyone. Like if you can wake up, even if your schedule's not made for it, if you can wake up, down a shake or sit down and eat something and then get back in bed, then just do that because then you're
Yeah.
going to be ahead of schedule and then you're not going to have to cram as much at night. So that's
That's right.
something it took me a while, over time to learn
Yeah.
because I was just so accustomed to being up late and just starting everything late.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I mean, I can tell you that there's been several times, I would go to bed and I'd have food up in my throat, man. I had to sleep
uh,
sitting up because I can't, you know,
uh,
but I had to get it in. What do you do when you got to get it in? And my coach had zero sympathy, He said, I don't care what you do. You got to
uh,
get it in if you want to grow.
yeah, absolutely.
That's just the way
The
that
most,
is.
yeah. The most recent thing that I actually started doing, I didn't even think about. Shoot, I started blended up scrambled eggs. I got so tired of sitting down eating eggs, I will cook some eggs, scramble them, throw them in the blender, pour a little bit of water in there, blend it, drink it. Same thing. It's going down. It's going down. Me and my blenders have a very, very close relationship.
I
So
love it,
there's
man.
a close
That's awesome.
relationship. But it's not real. It's not. I wouldn't call scrambled eggs warm and still steaming a delicacy. Blended up in a blender. I wouldn't call it that. But I would rather sit there if it's time to go to bed and blend those up, put them in a cup, get some type of something, and I'll put it in a cup here. I'll get a chaser here, and I will literally drink those eggs, and I will chase it with something, and just all right, they're gone, they're done. I didn't have to sit there for 15, 20 minutes picking away and eating those, So yeah, I insist. I recommend that anybody that's struggling to get, meals in, that you need to invest in a blender. Just invest in a blender. So just get it down. So
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
you gotta
Hey,
do what you
what you
gotta
got?
do.
You got to do what you have to do, and when we want to win, you got to do it. That's just the way it is. And
Absolutely.
hey, what'd you go to college for? What'd you get your degree in?
Actually, I went to. I jumped around, man. When I first went to college, I initially was gonna go for sports medicine.
Yeah.
Got tired of that. Then I switched over to broadcast media journalism. Switched over to that. Did that for a little while. Did some film work. I did some sports commentating for the sports teams for UCA basketball. I did some sports talk shows. I did some stuff like that. I did some online
Yeah.
work, some media work, publications. And then I got tired of that and said, this just ain't it. And so then I finally finished with health science education.
Yeah.
So I had already got some of my work done in sports medicine. Done with that, some of those the health related classes, and so then that just kind of rolled over to health science education, and I finished with that. So and I graduated in 2018 in December.
Yeah.
So that's really
Now,
just what I want.
did you have a certain job in your mind that you wanted to get when you graduated? Did you know you wanted to work in the gym and train, or did you say, I wanted to do this?
At the time, I said that I'm going to start off with personal training. It's going to be my initial first thing. And then I said, I'll see where I can go from there. And when I got the job at 10 Fitness right as I was about to graduate that same semester, it really just worked out. I was like, well, I said, I got the job now, getting a good amount of clientele. I'm just going to ride this out until, I end up, choosing to do something else. And I've actually been there ever since. Yeah. So, I got a really good, foundation of clients that I work with. Like I say, people are coming in all the time. Like, it's a big gym, so we have thousands of members at that gym.
Yeah.
Word of mouth goes really well. Everybody that comes in, basically learns about personal training as soon as they walk in the door. So they're getting information as soon as they come in. Like I said, we have multiple outlets on how we can reach people. So it's been something that I've just been sticking with, So I decided to do something else. The main goal though is eventually is to get more into the online coaching side of things.
Okay.
So I can work my own, have my own name, and just work from home and just kind of work from my laptop and my phone. I mean, that's the goal because, like I said, I enjoy the whole the science aspect of this sport.
Sure.
The just working with people and having that satisfaction of when you help somebody, help them achieve a goal and seeing how happy they are, and just being able to say that, you played a positive role in that person's life is what I enjoy the most, So, and like I say, the whole contest prep side of things, I'm not 100% there yet. We're taking
but you'll get there. You'll get there with experience on that, Des. You'll get there with that.
Absolutely, and that's what I enjoy. Like like I said, I'm a student of this game, so I study. I'm reading books. I'm listening to the top guys in the industry now.
Yeah.
I'm talking to top competitors that I know. I don't have a problem going up, and picking somebody's brain, respectfully picking somebody's brain just to kind of see what is it you do, how does this work for you, how does this work with your clients, and just kind of bouncing ideas off so I can just gain, different insight on things. I mean, like I said, you never know, man. You'll talk to somebody somewhere and you'll say, damn, I never thought of it that way. I didn't even think about that. Doing this at this time during a prep, implementing these things, whatever it may be, to present this type of look. So, like I said, I'm always trying to find, the next tool that I can use, or the next, little bit of knowledge that I can apply to my clients and to my people, So, but just trying to learn as much as I can is something I'm trying to do. So,
yeah, and that's perfect, because we all want to be a pro. We want to get on that, but we have to do other things too, because there's a lot of pros that just become a pro, and then they retire and they got nothing, nothing's there. Even now, I follow Dexter Jackson. He's one of my favorite bodybuilders, and now he's doing his training. He's opened up all of his training for people, because he knows he's retiring this year and he's got to have something.
Absolutely.
And I think what you're doing is becoming a student of our industry, learning everything. I think that's great, because that's just going to open up so much. Even when you decide to quit doing what you're doing, you still can be the coach and still make a good living.
Absolutely.
Doing what you want to do,
Yes, doing what I want to do, So, and like I say, man, if you can, understand, as popular as this is becoming, if you can become, a top, coach that, you're getting clientele left and right, and you have the ability to juggle multiple people with multiple different protocols, diets, and just different, this system works for this person, it works for this person, but this system over here has to be for this person. This person has an issue here that they got to be worked through. This person mentally is in a different mindset. Just learning how to juggle all those things, I feel like it's something, that can make or break a coach. Like, I don't feel like if you can't juggle multiple people, keep up with multiple people, have different, you have to, change your mindset almost, with different clients, because you have to know this person is different from this person. You know what I mean? So just being able to do all those things, can really pay you back, because whenever you get a big clientele base and you have a lot of people, then, if you're knowledgeable in what you do and you're a respectable, coach, you can make, great amount of income from that.
That's right. That's exactly right.
And like I say, if that's what you enjoy doing, then that's a dream,
That's it. That's it. Hey, Des, appreciate you being on Chasing the Card today, man. I can't wait to see what you look like here in finishing the end of this year, getting up to around 240 to 250. That's going to be great to see you that big. And, man, I just appreciate you being on the show today.
No problem, man. I appreciate you anytime.
Yes, sir. Hey, we got to get you back, though, towards the end. I want to see how you progress throughout the year and let everybody see what you look like.
Yes, sir. I'll be looking forward to it. I really feel like this year is going to be, year, of a good amount of success and some growth. So, what I'm saying? I'm just going to make sure. Yeah, there we go. Got a phone call.
Yeah, there we go.
And just be able to, break through some plateaus and just be able to get set up for next year. So.
Yep. Hey, Des, appreciate you, buddy. Have a great day, man.
Thank you, man. See you.
All right, boy. We'll see you.
Yes, sir.